The topic today is measure of central tendency, which is one of the most important topics in statistical analysis or in the field of statistics. Now, what is this? It's a single value that describes the central or the typical value of any data set, and it aims to summarize a distribution of data with a representative number. It is the most common measure, and it can be break down into major three parts, which is mean, median and mode. Now, what are the major functions of any statistical average or measure of central tendency? So the very first is that an average presents the salient feature of any numerical data in simple as well as in summarized form. There is a quote by Mr. Bolle, who said that by the use of averages, complex groups and large numbers are presented in a few significant words of figures, because it summarizes it and gives you an idea of what is the entire data is all about. Then an average provides a common denominator which helps to compare the group of data. So it provides the common basis through which you can compare the entire group of data and can know the salient features of it. Then the third function is that it gives you a complete picture of that entire group by giving these bases of the entire data. An average is valuable in setting standards also, like in any kind of estimation or planning purpose. It is quite useful, and that is why it is the basis for many other techniques of statistical analysis also. It also traces the mathematical relationship between different groups of data, and that's why it's also helpful in making decision or in the process of experimentation and research. Now, what are the requisites of an ideal average so that it can give you the perfect results? So the very first is that it should be simple and rigid. Why it is required? Because there has to be only one interpretation of the average value, and if it is not well defined, then there are chances of it's being influenced by the observer's own intelligence and other biases. Then it should be easy to understand, so that it should not be very abstract and mathematical as to become incapable of being understood easily and rapidly. Then it should be easy and simple to compute for the obvious reasons, so that it can be widely used, and it should not be very complex. Then it should be based on all the observation of the entire data. If it is not based on all the items, it cannot be said to be the representative of the whole group. Then it should be least affected by the extreme values. Although each and every observation should influence the value of the average, but none of the observation should influence it unduly. Then it should be least affected by the fluctuation of the sampling, so as to avoid any kind of discrepancy and any kind of error generated by this problem. And last is that it should be capable of the further algebraic treatment, so that it can be used for other processes also. It can become the basis of other estimations also. Now comes the limitation part. So there are certain limitations that like an average is a single value representing a group of values, but it is not always safe to depend upon it, because there is every possibility of getting wrong conclusions. Then a wrong choice of an average for a particular problem might give wrong and fallacious conclusions. An average as a measure of central tendency fails to give the complete picture of the data. In certain types of frequencies like U-shaped or J-shaped distribution, an average may fail to represent the entire data. That is, unless the data show a clear single concentration of observation, an average may not be meaningful at all. Then an average may give us a value that does not exist in the data, and sometimes an average might give very absurd results. For example, the average number of children per adult woman is 3.4. It doesn't make any sense. Now, what are the kinds of statistical average? So, there are major three divisions on the basis of the mathematical average. So, it covers the averages that comes under the mathematical average are arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, and quadratic mean. On the basis of the average of position comes three types of average: median, partition values, and mode. Then comes the commercial averages, covers the moving average, progressive average, and composite average. In the coming chapters or tutorial, we'll understand them, what are they in detail.